I used to think that if my lifestyle and my routine looked a certain way, that I would finally feel good about my life and therefore I would feel good about myself and how I was living it. But the truth is, my routine and my lifestyle just continued to be a reflection of how I viewed myself. Not to freak you out, but your daily life is your identity in action. It is a depiction of how you think about yourself and how you identify. And however you truly identify, not who you want to be or who you wish you were or who you're trying to be, but what you genuinely right now today identify as is what your day to day life is going to look like. This is where a lot of us can really get frustrated because it's not a reflection of our goals or our intentions. It's a reflection of our patterns. And if our patterns are in alignment with our goals and our intentions, then maybe our day to day life reflects that a little bit more. But if we find ourselves constantly wishing that our life looked different or trying to fit the right routine into our life or trying to pack habits in so that we can then achieve the dream life that we want to achieve and finally feel good about ourselves, something is out of alignment and your day is not reflecting who you actually are. So, today I want to talk about what your day to day life says about who you are right now, today. And I'm telling you this not in an effort to be shameful and to call you out for not being what you want to be and not being what you wish you were and you're working so hard to achieve, but more so for clarity, to bring awareness to the idea that your day might not reflect how you actually would prefer to identify. And if we can bring awareness to that, you can start to make better choices that are more in alignment with who you are and who you are working to become. If anything in this episode resonates with you, please make sure to rate and review the show. It really does help get episodes out to more like minded listeners like you and I who need to live a little bit more wellishly. And if you are a person that loves self improvement but just can't take the pressure of perfection that a lot of self improvement relies on, you're going to want to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Your routine isn't random. It's not a result of you being incapable or undisciplined or inconsistent or that you're lazy and you suck and you can't ever stick to anything that you actually want to and you're not ever supposed to. It's a reflection of how you feel inside. It's a reflection of the person that you view yourself as and how you identify. And it requires you to better shape and redirect that identity in order to create the routine. I think a lot of the time, what people screw up is they think that if they pack certain habits into their routine and into their life, that they will then feel like that person, that they will then identify as that person. And you're doing it backwards. You have to identify as the person first, and the routine and the lifestyle will naturally follow. I am talking about two things here too throughout this episode. I'm talking about routines like when we go to the gym and we drink water and we eat healthy and we get a certain amount of sleep. We do hygiene routines, beauty routines, gym routines. Did I say that already? Like all of those kinds of things. But I'm also referring to our lifestyle, wanting to be in a relationship and what we're doing in order to either get into one or care for one we already have or to recover from a breakup or how to be single. I'm talking about lifestyle as in how we spend time with our friends and our family and what we do during those times that we spend with each other. I'm talking about times spent by ourselves and how we show up when we're alone. If we're sad and we're rotting on the couch watching TV, or if you're going out to dinner and experiencing the world and make the most of your life no matter who is around you. Whether you're more focused on the routine aspect of this, or you're more focused on the lifestyle part of this, or maybe you're focused on both, either way, your life is a depiction of what you tolerate, of what you prioritize, and honestly, what you believe you deserve. Which on the surface, you might be like, that's not true. Like, I know I'm worth a lot. I have high self esteem. I know that I deserve a good life and I'm going to do what I need in order to get there. And that's why I'm hustling and I'm rushing and I'm worried all the time about making sure that I live the life that I want to live. But look a little deeper. Have a little bit more of an open mind because, like, for example, let's say your mornings are super fucking rushed. Like, let's say you are waking up early so that you can go to the gym and you can journal and you can get ready for your day so that you can look good, and you're getting your lunch packed in together and you're rushing to the car, rushing your way through your commute so that you can get to work, okay? And you're doing all of these great things that we think that we're supposed to do in order to have a good morning to set us up for a good day. And we feel good when we can get those things done and check the things off of the list exactly how we would like to. And there are days that we can do that. It's not every day, and maybe we beat ourselves up on the days that we can't, but we are able to do it when we can. And when we can, we feel good about it. But really, if your morning is rushed, it's possible that you don't believe that your time is yours, that you have to get a certain amount of things done in order to feel good enough, in order to feel like you are worth any success. It's possible you're rushing to work because your time belongs to your job, and making sure that you keep other people happy compared to making sure that you're on time because it's a value of yours and you want to be a person with good work ethic that shows up when they said they were going to. Another good example of this is if you overbook yourself. Like, if you either have a hard time saying no and you want to pack as much stuff because you just keep having opportunities show up, and maybe that's because you want to make other people happy, maybe because you have a hard time saying no and you don't want to disappoint anybody, maybe you're afraid that you should take every opportunity that is presented to you. Maybe you are afraid to be still. Maybe if you sit by yourself, it feels incredibly uncomfortable and you're trapped with your thoughts, and you try to avoid that at all costs with distraction. Both of those examples show what you prioritize, what you tolerate, and what you believe you deserve. That there is an underlying root to the reason you cannot stick to the routine or have the lifestyle that you wish that you did. But the truth is, your lifestyle and your routines are not things that are supposed to be happening to you or depictions that you're good enough. Those things are happening from you. Like, it's because of who you are that you then spill out the routine and the lifestyle that reflect who you are. So, in an effort to break down how your everyday choices reveal your beliefs and your identity and where you might be out of alignment in your life, I have picked a few different areas that I think most people fall into, and I'm going to call you out a little bit. Okay. I'm going to highlight these few areas and say what is most common for each of them, and reveal at the end what this says about you. So, if you resonate with any of these at all, again, this is just strictly for awareness so that you can start to make better choices for yourself. And becoming aware of it is not only going to benefit you because you can make better choices, but it's going to benefit you because you're going to realize that it's not your fault, that you're not doing the things that you want to do because something is wrong with you. It's your system, and it's the way that you are viewing how you go about it. We're digging to the root of the issue, okay? If we can dig to the root of why we operate the way that we do and we can work to heal that, everything else will benefit. Okay, the first one is you hate the word lazy. It's triggering, it's upsetting, you feel threatened by it, and you do everything in your power to make sure that you do not identify as lazy. But you have a little bit of an inkling inside of you, a little bit of a fear that you think that at your core you might actually be lazy. If this is you, your life also might be fucking exhausting. Even if you don't feel exhausted, your life, if you were to zoom out on it and look at all of the things that you do, might be exhausting to most people. You pack as much as you can into your life. You have a lot of standards for yourself. You're very rigid about meeting those standards. Maybe you're somebody that sets rules for yourself, and if you don't abide by those rules, you beat yourself up. You might have a problem with feeling undisciplined or inconsistent. And you're constantly trying to fix whatever is wrong with you so that you can finally live a good life and like yourself. If you resonated with any of this, your life is telling you that you are too hard on yourself. Welcome to the club. That's where I sit. You think that you're undisciplined, but you're actually just overwhelmed. You're trying to pack as much as you can in and get it all done and get it all done perfectly. And you're not a machine and you're not going to get it all perfectly. And life is going to come up and moods are going to come up and emotions are going to come up. But that doesn't matter. You don't care. You want to make sure you get it done. But then when you can't get it done, everything done perfectly, inevitably, you think that you're undisciplined because we're taught that it doesn't matter what your moods are and it doesn't matter what comes up, that you should be able to get done the things that you need to get done. But that's not realistic and it's not being kind to you. And all of that leads to being inconsistent, which just leads to further self-deprecation and beating ourselves up. But the reason you're inconsistent is not a capability issue. The issue is that you're setting unrealistic expectations for yourself. It is unrealistic to think that you're going to do the same exact thing in the same exact way every single day for the rest of your life until the day you die. It is unrealistic to expect that you are going to have hordes of friends, that you're going to have tons of things to do with those friends. It's unrealistic that you are going to have an incredible family dynamic, that everybody gets along, and you're never going to have an issue a day in your life. It is unrealistic to expect your relationship to look straight off the set of The Notebook, and that until it does, you have to keep ending it with people because it isn't feeling like you think that it's supposed to feel. This type of character thinks that they need to fix themselves instead of fixing what their life demands of them. And what your life demands of you is going to be different than what other people's life demands of them. We all have a different set of standards that we need to abide by in order to achieve what we want to achieve. And it's not going to look exactly the same as somebody else. So not only should we not be comparing our standard of what's good enough to what society says is good enough, if we all think and feel different ways and what works for us all is different, but it also means that you can't exactly copy what somebody else does. You have to do what works best for you. And if what works best for you is different than what works best for somebody else, that doesn't make it wrong. If this is you, something you really need to understand is that you are not failing at doing the routine that you want to do. The routine you've created is failing you. That you need to create a better routine that serves you in a way that is sustainable for you. You need your routine to be able to fluctuate and be flexible and be able to get done on your worst days. You need to create a skeleton of a routine, decide what your priorities are, decide what you tolerate, and then make choices from that place compared to making choices from what will make you feel like you're good enough. You have to untie your worth from your achievement and find a way to create a routine that genuinely works for you, that you can show up at. And find a way to create a routine and a lifestyle that you feel good about, but you can always show up to. The next kind of life looks like one that looks good. It doesn't necessarily feel good, though. Maybe you are waking up and you're going to the gym really early, and you are getting your meals in, you're getting your protein goal in, you're drinking your green smoothie, maybe you're going to Pilates, maybe you are doing yoga in the morning and you're journaling and you're reading and you're doing all of the things that look good. And so you consider yourself to have a good routine because you're doing what you've been told will create a good life for you. And you have all of these habits that you are really romanticizing because you know that they look good, but you kind of, if you really were honest with yourself, you kind of hate it. You kind of hate how much you're doing. You kind of hate how early you have to wake up. You kind of hate the rigidity that you have to have in order to maintain it. Whether you actually post it on social media or not, you are proud of the aesthetics of it. Like, you're proud that you're doing what would look good, but you actually feel drained and maybe you don't feel drained and are equating it specifically to your routine or your lifestyle because maybe you want to do those things and that's why you're doing them. You've done all of the pretty things and packed all of the extras into your routine. Maybe you're going out and doing things with your friends, or you're traveling, or you're going to the job that you really like, and you're spending time with family. Like, your everything is packed full of things that you think really are what you should be doing. But the reality is you feel fucking tired. Like, you feel drained. You feel lonely, maybe. Maybe you feel behind in life because you're spending so much time making sure that your life looks good that you are forgetting that life is supposed to feel good. If you are burnt out and you are tired and you are stressed and you are overwhelming yourself to get all of the things done that you said that you were going to get done, that's not creating a life that feels good. You're creating a life that looks good. And if you are a person that relates to this, you are being performative. You are performing wellness compared to actually genuinely living from a well place. If your life feels empty, but it looks good, that's not what the goal is. That's not in alignment with you. This is a really good place, if you relate to this, to ask yourself, if no one could see me living my life this way, would I still show up and do those same things? I think this is one that really slips under the radar for a lot of us, that we don't realize consciously that we are not showing up in alignment with ourselves because we want to do the things that we're doing. That's why we're doing them. And we like the way we feel doing those things. When we do all of the wellness activities, it does make us feel good. That is a result of taking care of ourselves. So you are going to have good feelings that come from packing all of this stuff into your life. You're going to feel good going out with your friends. You're going to feel good making time for your family. You're going to feel good traveling and going to things and experiencing things. You're going to feel good journaling and meditating and going to yoga and going to Pilates and going to the gym and drinking your water and eating the good food. Those things are all going to make you feel good. So it's confusing when your life, if you really, really are honest with yourself, doesn't feel full. It feels more empty. And you don't think that those things are the problem because not only do they make you feel good, but society in general tells us that's what we should be doing in order to live a good life. But if your life still feels empty, what's most important is getting the basics done and making sure that you do what makes you feel good. That's what will make you feel fulfilled, doing things that make you happy and doing things that make you feel peace and doing things that make you feel full, not doing things that over time burn you out and then eventually drain you. And you only get the dopamine for doing what you think that you should and doing the things that look good. Similar to this, but not exactly the same, is a different kind of character. This kind of character overrides their own feelings and their own signals and what they think would be best for them and chooses instead what society would say is best. This kind of character confuses information with intuition. Similar to the performative one, this kind of person wants to make sure that their life looks good and they're doing what they're supposed to and what would gain approval from an outside source or from the society source. This is very relevant to both lifestyle and to routines. This is the kind of character that finds themselves obsessed with 5 a.m. routines, obsessed with 10,000 steps a day and Pilates and cute workout sets, that finds themselves obsessed with making sure that they're doing a 12-step skincare routine and that their beauty standards meet and that their beauty meets a certain standard and their fashion meets a certain standard. This person also finds themselves obsessed with making sure that their relationship looks how it's supposed to look, that they aren't with the bare minimum man, that they're going to not rest until they're with somebody that will fly them across the country and pay for their Prada bags. This is the type of person that wants to get the perfect pictures at all of the events to make sure that the world knows that they are doing the cool things. This is the person that won't go to specific events if people aren't cool enough. if you relate to this, these lifestyle and routines say that you are listening too intensely to social media. Your lifestyle and your routines are not yours, they are crowdsourced. And this is so muddy and clouded because of how inundated we are with the opinions of other people and the little bit of truths that live in those opinions, that we think that we're doing what we actually want to do, to the point that we don't even know what we actually want and what we actually believe and what we actually want to do, because we're being fed and, quite honestly, sold a reality and sold a way of living that would be considered acceptable, instead of us choosing for ourselves what works best for us in our own real lives. And instead of listening to what you genuinely want to do, you think that your way is wrong because you've heard on the internet that this way of living is the right way to go about it. And we gain all of this information and are intaking all of this information about how we should be living our life and what we should be doing and what is right and what is wrong and what is the best way to go about things, that our intuition has been totally stripped from us. We can't even hear it anymore because we're so inundated and overloaded with all of the information that we're receiving constantly. But just because somebody on TikTok said that that was the best way to do it doesn't mean that it's your best way to do it. Absolutely, you shouldn't settle in your relationship. Absolutely, you should wait until the right person that is going to genuinely treat you correctly and how you deserve shows up in your life. But if they don't check all of the boxes that social media says that they need to have in order to be considered good enough, that doesn't mean you can't be with that person. Just because it looks good on social media to be traveling and getting a van and quitting your job and going to the mountains and laying in clear water and going to Greece and eating incredible food and wearing incredible clothes, doesn't mean that your life's bad. It doesn't mean that you working and providing for yourself and paying your rent and going to your job every day and buying yourself groceries and making plans for yourself and making the most out of your life, that doesn't mean your life is bad. Just because your morning looks like getting up, getting in the shower, using whatever toothpaste and whatever face wash and slapping on some moisturizer and then heading out the door to work, that doesn't, and you feel good about your life and you feel good about your day, doesn't make you any less beautiful than the people that do 12-step skincare routines and wake up really early and drink water right when they wake up and have this whole curated morning routine. If that works for them, great, that's awesome. And if your morning routine works for you, that's also awesome. You don't need to pack your life full of all of this stuff. You just need a few core things that make you happy about how you're living your life. The last kind of character lives a life that is repeatable and is not rigid. They get the things done that they want to get done, and they have self compassion when they don't get them done perfectly, exactly as they said they're going to. This kind of person feels safe inside of their own life and doesn't feel like they have to meet a certain standard in order to consider themselves good enough. They don't feel that they have to impress society or have to impress anybody else in their lives, or that they have to impress even themselves with the things that they're doing in their life or the routines that they're keeping. This kind of character has standards for themselves and they can be disciplined, but they also allow for flexibility and for moods and life to shift how they show up, and allow their routines and their lifestyle to shift when life shifts. This kind of character builds their life around how it feels, not around how it looks, and that how it feels might change day to day. And they have their core things that they get done that are important to them and that they prioritize, but that they can flow with their life. This kind of character leaves room to be human. They leave room for the human experience, and they don't feel that their lifestyle and their routines are what make them enough or what create meaning about who they are. They create their own meaning about who they are, and their lifestyle and their routines are a reflection of that. This kind of character is a person that lives wellishly. A wellish life does not look perfect, it looks livable. A wellish life allows you to do all of the things that you want to do so that you can feel proud of the person that you are becoming. But it does not require you to do it perfectly in order to consider yourself good enough. For the sake of clarity, I want to give you guys some rapid fire examples of things that we really do that actually have other underlying meanings. If your mornings are chaotic, you might not feel safe slowing down. If you're always finding yourself starting over every Monday, every week, every month, every quarter, you're addicted to the change and wanting to add something new into your life and don't actually care as much about the reality of that change. You like the dopamine hit of saying you're going to do it more than anything else. If your routine is constantly changing, you're chasing perfection instead of allowing your routine to be repeatable. If you never rest without guilt, you believe that your worth is earned through achievement. If your life looks good, but it feels off, you're performing instead of just living. And if you avoid structure completely, you might be someone that views structure as a prison, as restricting, not supportive. Your life is telling you everything you already need to know about yourself. And with this information, you don't need to overhaul your life and make some big change. You just need to notice it. It's good to be aware of it because now you can make choices and be nicer to yourself about the things that you're doing right now. And if what your life is telling you about yourself is not what you like and not what you want to hear, that's good too, because now you're aware and can direct it in a way that would help you identify. You have to bring it back to the source and figure out how you truly want to identify and start making shifts inside of yourself that will allow you to identify that way and watch as your routine and your lifestyle follows suit. And that might have to be a little bit more conscious and say, I want to be someone that identifies as a relaxed person that enjoys their life. So, how would a relaxed person that enjoys their life show up? Would they force themselves to get out of bed at 5 a.m. if they're tired as fuck and burnt out? No, maybe they don't do it every single day for the rest of their life until the day they die. Pick one thing in your life that doesn't feel like you anymore and adjust it. Your ideal lifestyle and your ideal routine are so much more achievable than you are giving yourself credit for. It is possible that the way that you have been approaching trying to create this life has come from a place of self deprecation compared to self love and self compassion. So, if you can reframe and understand why your routine and your lifestyle look the way that they do, you will be able to understand yourself more and then make choices that better serve you. And through that, you'll create the lifestyle and the routines that you feel proud of. That's it for today's episode. That's it for this month's theme of lifestyle and routines. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. If you resonated with this and haven't already listened to the several other episodes about lifestyle and routines that we have had this month, you're going to want to go check those out. I've curated a whole variety about how to create lifestyle and routines that are most in alignment with your authentic self and the version of yourself that you want to become, all in a very wellish way. Thank you so much for listening. There is no interview this week, so there'll be no episode on Wednesday. So I will talk to you guys again on Friday. I love you so much. I will talk to you next month. Bye.